speak, you guys wanted to kind of explore intimacy there. I did like that post there. So let's talk like 5 minutes real quick, and then let's actually like explore this. So this word intimacy, it's very like misunderstood. It's very misinterpreted because we typically think of intimacy as something sexual. There's an intimacy, an intimate relationship. It's a sexual relationship. This is typically the kind of the projection of intimacy. And that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. We can look at intimacy to have an intimate relationship. There's a relationship. You make some friends at school or work. It's just it's a relationship. But then now you start dating. Now it's becoming more intimate. There's more of a closeness to it. So we can also see that intimacy is related to closeness, right? Sometimes there's only 3 people on the calls. It's an intimate conversation. We're talking about something that's very like close to our hearts, kind of thing. So it's a very intimate relationship. I see there's 8, even at 8 people, it's still intimate. It's more intimate than, a room full of, 250 people. That would be less intimate. So we can see that this intimacy is about a closeness, right? It's a connection. And when we look at our relationships, we're always seeing that we want to move closer. We want to move closer. There's some people that's stronger, that impulse to be closer, to want to take the relationship deeper, to connect with our partner more on a deeper level. And this is like, on the spiritual path, it's like, everyone's just talking about, politics and the weather. And that feels so superficial, but I want to have like a deep conversation with someone. And this urge to go deeper, this urge to know someone deeper is really this longing for intimacy, to go deeper, to connect with someone deeper. And you see that in our relationships, we're always doing this for those that have that impulse. And I could, tell you that impulse is in everyone that's on the call. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. There's other people that don't want that because actually there's a fear of intimacy. They don't want to get too close. That's why when the relationship gets closer, now it's like one partner runs. Oh, she's getting too intimate with me, or he's getting too intimate with me. It also feels there's a commitment. There's a level of commitment, a deep connection, and then it's like someone peels off and runs. And they usually say things like, I don't know what's going on with my relationships. They're always it's that fear of love, because love is the ultimate intimacy, because love is oneness. It's the absence of separation. So when you see that actually our longing for intimacy, to get close to someone, and even our projection of intimacy, a sexual relationship, it's like it doesn't get any closer than that in form. As 2 forms coming so close together like this is what's trying to happen, is like one form is trying to merge with the other form through sexual act. And it's like, I want to be one with you, because that's the experience, is this oneness. Because in that full letting go of, in sex, is you're actually letting go of boundaries. That in the actual letting go, there's no you and other. The experience is actually just, it's love. And it doesn't need to be a sexual act, because actually if this love is, you could say, lit in you, you notice this, that even it's just a hug with someone. It's just even like, you can, how people, mothers, it's not just mothers. I mean, I did it with my babies. You hold them so close, and it's like, you want to, like, people say things like, I just want to eat this baby. It's a figure of speech, because they just want to, like, just pull the baby right to the face. It's like, just as if I just don't want this form to limit, coming so close. I just want to pull that that person into like my heart. It's a melting sensation. Or even a pet, you just petting your cat or your dog or whatever, and it's just you you instantly, when it's really alive, you close your eyes because you just want the borders and boundaries to disappear. So everything disappears. That's why people that experience this here and there, they say things like, yeah, I just like hugged my parents at the airport before they left or before I left for school or on a trip or something. And it's like the whole airport disappeared. Time just stood still. Nothing, nothing mattered. But what was present? It wasn't you experiencing love. There was just love. It wasn't you loving your mom. There was just love. The experience of love is just love, only love. And that's essentially what everyone's longing for when they say that I'm longing for that intimacy. Meaning, it's like I want to be free of these borders and boundaries. I want to merge. I want to just reach out and touch something that's real. This is where like this intimacy, it's like, it's always about like, like sensations of like touching someone's body. I want to just feel, because it's that's a pathway, is to go through the sensations. So much that then that whole body just, it's not there. There's the sensation, and then it's just, even the sensation just melts and there's just love. But it's very like touchy feely. But it's that pathway. So it's that deep connection. But it's, that word is very misleading. Even like to be intimate with, it's misleading because it's implying separation. It's implying two. But really, true intimacy is one. There's only the intimacy of I. What's more intimate than the experience of I? Is there something that's closer to you? Even as you say, oh, my partner, even my husband or my wife who I've met with, who I've been with for 10 years, you go, yeah, they're close. That's the closest thing to me, is my husband who I've been married to for 10 years, my partner who I've been dating for 3 years, whatever it is. They're close. Or your mom or your dad, they're close, but what's closer? Is this I. But when I say I, you are referencing I, the person, me, the person. But what I'm pointing to is closer than that. What's closer than the person? What's so close that even the word close is false? It's not a good word. What's without distance? What is here right now? That's so immediate. True intimacy is immediate. It's actually impersonal. It's very paradoxical because we think intimacy is personal, but true intimacy is impersonal. Can you walk and then look at a flower and feel the intimacy? Experience the intimacy? Can you pick up your dog and feel the intimacy? Experience that intimacy? Eat some food and experience the intimacy? What's more intimate than experiencing? Experiencing is the most intimate, is it not? Do you know anything closer than experiencing? You would say, well, my story is pretty intimate, the story of me. Okay, so that's the story that you are experiencing. But the experiencing is the most intimate. The experiencing is ever present. There's experiencing this conversation, this discussion. Now, if any feelings arise, well, there's experiencing those feelings. See, those feelings are intimate. Those thoughts are intimate. But what about those thoughts and feelings is actually intimate? What's the experiencing of those thoughts and feelings? The body is intimate. The sensations, the bodily sensations, that's intimate. Experiencing those body sensations fully is very intimate. And it's because of the experiencing. So this experiencing is the most intimate. Now, you could see that undeniably there is experiencing present. And you are experiencing. Now, this experiencing is the true I. It's the silent I. I equals experiencing. This experiencing that you are is that which is experiencing the me that you believe to be, the I in the story, the person. The experiencing is impersonal, and it's impersonal that's experiencing the personal. As intimate as the person feels, appears to be, there's really that which is more personal, more intimate, and it's impersonal. So there's this experiencing that's present. And it is you that's experiencing. Now, if I'm just drinking coffee, there's the experiencing of taste, smell, touch, seeing, maybe hearing as I'm, slurping, slurping it, and I, hit my hand off the ceramic. There's the sound. Now, the experience of seeing, the experience of hearing, the experience of smelling, tasting, touching. What is that made of other than experiencing? It is made of experiencing. There's nothing other than experiencing. The reality of the six senses, the tasting, the smelling, the touching, the hearing, the seeing, the thinking, the reality of those six senses is you experiencing. These six senses are made of you. Now, these six senses are what you call mind-body world. I'm experiencing the world, the coffee, the world. I'm experiencing the weather through sight. The experience of seeing. But the experience of seeing is actually appearing in experiencing. So I'll slow it down here so you can see. Typically, we start with I, the body mind, am the experiencer. Now I'm looking out a window. There's a window right behind my computer here. I, the experiencer, am experiencing the weather. The weather is the experience, and I, the body mind, am the experiencer. But this experiencer and the experience, which I'm labeling the weather, isn't this appearing in experiencing? It is. That even this experiencer is within you, the experiencing. So you see right here, it feels like there's some distance. Experiencer, experience. I'm pointing to clouds outside. And that's the distance that is conceptual. When really, check for yourself, that body mind is appearing in experiencing. It is you that's experiencing the body. It is you that's experiencing the mind. It is you that's experiencing the world. So what appears to be distance is then the gap is closed. There's no gap there. Because what appears to be this body at a distance from the clouds, that's only created, that illusion is only created through thought. When thought says this is the experiencer, and that's the experience, it creates this as the subject and the clouds, the weather, as the object. Now, what I'm showing you here is explore this is, but isn't this subject actually just another object? Isn't the body objective? Isn't the mind objective? Aren't the body and the mind appearing to you? So when we see this, then this is no longer the subject, that this is actually an object. We see that the weather is objective, this body mind is objective, the couch is objective, the window is objective, the computer is objective. So why am I identified? Why am I just picking one object out of everything and saying, this is me? Because we're identified with an appearance. But why are we selecting just this appearance? Why not that or this? Actually, all objects are appearing within I, experiencing. All appearances are appearing within I, experiencing. So if you're going to identify with just an object, one object, then that's a limitation. If you want to identify with an object or an appearance, why not identify with it all? that this object appearing and that object appearing and that object appearing and all of it. You see, all of these objects that are appearing are within experiencing. And it is you that's experiencing. So everything is appearing within you. Now, what seems to be seeing visually, the experience that there's seeing clouds, seeing weather, experiencing weather, the thought makes it seem like that's happening here, that it's local. But the experiencing isn't localized. And what is that experience of seeing made of? They're seeing the clouds. Well, the experience of seeing, what is that made of? It's made of experiencing. It's essentially experiencing. So by experiencing, this is intimacy. And it's not intimacy just with one object. It's not intimacy just with your husband or your wife or your significant other. It's actually the intimacy with everything. And even that, it's tricky when you speak about it because you're not intimate with something. This intimacy is everything. That this intimacy is actually infinite. It's impersonal. There's an intimacy with dog poo on the ground when you're walking in the path. It doesn't discriminate. Oh, I'm not that intimate with that person. They're not sexy enough. It's not like that. This intimacy is undifferentiated. That the intimacy of self is that which is experiencing. Now you're seeing that actually this self that is experiencing is the reality of everything. Everything is made of self, that which is experiencing. So everything is made of you. So it's actually the end of relationship. And that's what love is. It's not one thing loving another. Love is. It's not something you do. It's what you are. That what you are is love. That I just showed you, there is no separation. There is no distance. I showed you what appears to be a distance, this, to the weather. There seems to be a distance, but I just showed you, I broke it down to show you how that distance is being created conceptually. When there's the belief that this body-mind is the subject, then there's a split that creates a subject-object relationship. Subject is the body-mind. The weather is the experience. This is the experiencer. The weather is the experience. And the experiencer and the experience are at a distance. They are separate. But then I just showed you, well, hold on. Isn't the experiencer an experience? Isn't the body-mind just another experience? And check it out for yourself. It is. It is you that is experiencing the body. It is you that is experiencing the mind. It's you that's experiencing the weather. It's you that's experiencing the dog poo. It's you that's experiencing the coffee. It's you that's experiencing the body-mind world. Now, what is the body-mind world made of other than experiencing? It's only made of experiencing. So the body-mind world is made of you. You are the reality of the body-mind world. There is no distance. There is no separation. There is no boundary. There is no border. This longing for intimacy is for that truth. That you aren't separate from anything. That actually you have only experienced yourself. All is you. It's not something new. It's always been this way. Shiva, you had your hand up. Go ahead.